Welcome back to SwitchCorner. My name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite deals coming in under $10 or your local currency. Now here I do cover the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia, so if you do want the pricier side of the eShop, check out my Saturday edition, which is any price goes. With that though, hit subscribe if you love the Switch, as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. So it's an interesting week, this one, super budget first of all. A ton of these games are going to be coming in under $5 and quite a few of them are hidden gems in my eyes to take a look through. So first up then for the week we've got Butcher. This is a new all-time low price with 90% off. This is actually the same dev as Carrion, and you can see where the side-scrolling over-the-top gore really started as you take on the role of a cyborg who is out to eradicate humanity, and it for sure does not hold back in its action. Stunning pixel work though, enemies literally just explode, and there's all sorts of nods here to horror sci-fi that many will love. I played it myself originally on the PS4, but I did double dip on the Switch, and it's just ideal especially for on-the-go gaming. Calming things down then, Figment, a genius title that doesn't get enough love. It's an isometric action adventure. It kind of gives me personally like Super Giant Games vibes, so think Bastion. There's something about the visual design here. But here we are Dusty travelling through someone's mind, solving puzzles while pushing back nightmares. Why are we doing this? Because Dusty used to be the voice of courage. Now he needs to kind of regain that bravery because he's become more than a little grumpy. 87% off, it is a new all-time low price, and in my opinion that is also a steal of a price. So horror fans, welcome to Hanwell is well worth a look with 80% off. It matches the all-time low price, but I'm a big fan of this game. The team, they went on to make the weak Grey Skies, which I would avoid personally, but the first person horror walking sim found here, it truly embodies the creepy, and I just love the London setting they go for. In this world though, monsters, they roam the streets, and it's a little bit more action-packed than, most in this genre, because of course here you can, run, but you can also then attempt to fight back as well. Looks great though on the Switch, it sounds good as well, and I really do like it a lot. Brawler fans, it's for sure not perfect, but Gekido, Kintaro's Revenge, a rebuild of a Game Boy Advance classic, they for sure put a lot of love into this port, but it was also seriously overpriced at launch. It's not the longest of games you're going to get here. It did see though a permanent price drop, and now I like this price a lot with 50% off. We've seen this actually in the US and Canada before, but for those of you in the UK, EU and Australia, this is a new all-time low price. Building out the package though, here we're getting new levels, 2 additional modes, new cutscenes, new audio, a resolution bump which you can also turn off, but then also a fair few video options as well. MotoGP 20 then is for the race fans out there. I reviewed this one on the channel, I will link that down below in the pinned comment. Honestly, I called it slightly above average, but that was full price, factoring in 75% off here. I actually think you can do a lot worse for your cash, and if you're looking for some solid racing, the mechanics here, they are more than decent. The issue on the Switch, we actually see a reduced racing field, the bikes in docked mode, the shadows don't connect. Kind of gives that impression of almost floating. They also then removed online play. That said though, I got 10 hours out of it, a couple of seasons worth of racing, and I just don't think you can knock that at this price. So a couple of games then that are not new all-time low prices or matching, but cheap enough, and they're getting a shout out today. First we've got Jenny LeClue Detective. Point and click fans, this is a must buy. It's 80% off, which is more than fair. The visuals are absolutely stunning in that kind of hand-drawn style, and the story, you're this aspiring young detective, but your mother is accused of murder. Now you need to get out there and prove her innocence. Think a whole lot of exploration, but what elevates this one for me, it's the fact that it has full voice acting. It just really brings this world to life. 20XX then may be above the previous low price for those of us in the US and Canada, but it does at least match in the UK, EU and Australia, and it is absolutely incredible. A sequel is on the way as well, but think here Mega Man if Mega Man was a roguelike, and yeah, you can see and feel the influence the second you boot it up. Daily and weekly challenges though, procedural generation for the game's levels, which means tons of replayability, persistent upgrades, it even has 2-player support, local or online. If you can get over the whole, die and it's back to the beginning though, this is going to be 100% worth your time. Hell Waters then didn't release in the best of shape honestly, but I found something to like in its kind of unique build of all-out kind of combat mixed with tower defense. Since release though, it's been patched, and while it's still not perfect, it's for sure made some major advancements, and now we're throwing in a new low price of 80% off, and I do think it's going to be hard to complain at this price. Now the idea though, you set up your defenses, so think like different units before then you jump into battle. Throw in on top of this though upgrades, and it's actually class-based action that's going to kind of cover off things for the RPG fans out there, and yeah, it's just getting a whole lot done with its kind of different gameplay elements. A quick mention then for Toki, a retro platformer given the remastered treatment. It was like the 80s, an arcade cabinet that's now seen this rebuild. It's a short game, you can beat it in like 30 minutes, but it's also not easy, and it's, you know, it's going to take you a fair few runs to finally get through this world. Super budget though here as well, with 87% off. What they've added here is new music, new graphics, but basically you get turned into a chimpanzee by a voodoo sorcerer, and you need to now get out there, save yourself and save your girlfriend. Now if you want a platformer that's just ultra challenging, check out Necrosphere Deluxe. I ended up with a limited physical of this one on the Theta, that's kind of how I came across it. I double dipped for the Switch build as well, but it's basically a self-described bite-sized Metroidvania with only 2-button gameplay. It's all about just super tight platforming. It's going to be up there with the likes of Meat Boy, so yeah, expect to be dying a lot. If you don't mind the retro visuals though, because I know it's not going to be for everyone, this journey to escape the afterlife is just, it's brutal, but like a blast at the same time. It's super rewarding, and it's matching the low with 50% off. Just, I've got to say, do not buy this one if you get frustrated easily. It's not going to be worth the potential broken Switch. Alright, so let's go back to something a little bit more calm then with Woven. It's matching the all-time low price. I picked this up not too long back myself in a sale after countless recommendations. And yeah, it was a good shout out honestly. It's a 3D adventure puzzle game. It won't push you, but you play as a stuffed animal who can change his body parts. I know that kind of sounds a little bit weird, but it works actually for some nice variety in its gameplay. And yeah, I was impressed. There's a fair few puzzles to kind of overcome, but then the experimentation with the different like unlocks, that's an absolute blast as well, and that kind of kept me coming back because I always wanted to see what was coming next. So our penultimate game of the week then, that is Knights of Pen and Paper Bundle. Award-winning games. I didn't know if I would like them heading in honestly, but they surprised me. Basically they are meta role-playing experiences where you take on the role of in-game players taking on the roles of their characters in what would be Dungeons and Dragons, so you know, pen and paper kind of action RPG sort of elements. I love the fact that you choose the fights, and the table and the players, they go with you into battle. It's got just a good sense of humour overall, and I think fans of either D&D or just RPGs in general can find a lot to like here. It's also a new low price as well with 67% off. So our final game of the week then, that is Celeste. It's back matching the all-time low price with 75% off. I'm not sure how much I really need to say on this one anymore. It is considered a modern classic, and it's loved with good reason. Every time it goes on sale, I'm going to be talking about it, as it's a game I think just every Switch owner should have in their collection, because yeah, it's perfect docked, undocked, it's just one I always return to. The idea, it's essentially a commentary on overcoming inner demons as you try to reach the top of Celeste Mountain. Now it's not an easy game either, you know, super tight platformer again, but it's just nearly perfectly built, and the reward is absolutely huge. Rounding out the package, then you get a ton of content to come back for as well. So yeah, absolutely spend some of your cash here. And that's it, another week down. Will you be adding anything to the library this week, or are you holding onto that cash? Now, as I said, it's been more of a kind of hidden gem sort of week for deals, but a ton of cheap prices here, so always remember just to check those gold points as well in the eShop. You may be able to pick up, you know, 1 or 2 games for basically free. With that though, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Now if you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.